Let's look at the streaming quality for some of the big Amazon Prime exclusives using Apple TV 4K. So I've done a variety of streaming quality technical face-offs. You can find them in the movies and TV show playlist here on the channel. But in this video, I want to focus specifically on measuring the quality of some of the biggest shows on Amazon Prime. So we're going to look at The Rings of Power, we're going to look at The Boys, and we're going to look at The Legend of Vox Machina. In order to do this, I am using my Apple TV 4K, the latest model, with the developer debug mode that allows us to see the overlay for all the streaming technicals. We can see if we're getting Atmos, Dolby Vision, what the bit rates are, and all of that. And I'm streaming into my 83-inch LG G2. So right off the bat, Rings of Power is telling us we should be getting UHD, 4K, HDR, not Dolby Vision, but still Dolby Atmos on the Apple TV, which Amazon Prime often lacks in a lot of general movies and other content. All right, so what are we getting? QHVC codec, HDR10, again, not Dolby Vision, but still 4K HDR, legitimately. It locked on, it spooled up right away, like you would hope and expect to from a streaming service. We're getting the Dolby Atmos. It's a widescreen scope TV show. And for bit rates, Amazon looking excellent here, much better, so much improved over a general movie. For audio, 448 kilobit Dolby Atmos. Yeah, that's not as high as it can get. Some streaming services like iTunes and Movies Anywhere we've shown, and even Disney Plus, get up into like the 770 kilobit range for Dolby Atmos. So 448 is kind of the next tier down, but still, it's better than the alternative of being even lower than this. So for Amazon particularly, which really doesn't rank very high, generally speaking, in its streaming technicals, I'll take 448 Dolby Atmos from its content all day long. But video, also much improved for Amazon. Almost 24 megabit, 23.93 here. Peak video, 18.54 average video. Amazon often doesn't get up at least to these levels. It's generally a good bit lower than this. So I'm happy with this, again, for Amazon. There's better streaming out there for sure. But hey, you want to watch The Rings of Power, at least for right now, you're only watching it on Amazon. So it's nice to see, I guess, that they're putting a little more technical oomph, a little more bit rate into their exclusive content than you generally get out of a regular piece of general content that other streaming providers might also stream as well. All right, next up, Legend of Vox Machina. I would consider this to be a pretty big, pretty important landmark anime series for exclusive to Amazon. And this one's kind of unfortunate. They didn't even deliver it in 4K. It's 5.1 audio, but let's take a look and see what we get nonetheless. So here we are, 1080p, SDR, and relatively lower bit rates as you would expect for HD content versus 4K content. 5.1 audio at 192 kilobit per second, 12.85 megabit peak video, 9.65 megabit average video bit rates. Pretty normal, pretty standard, nothing really out of the ordinary. And I wish more of these streaming providers, when they're making exclusive animated content, animation content like this, would go full bore, make it 4K, make it HDR, put some Dolby Atmos in it. A series like this, fantasy series, fighting, swordsmanship, I think it would all benefit from having that extra quality. So kind of a bummer that they held this piece of content back. All right, last one for this video. The Boys, going to look at the last episode of the latest season. Crazy show, by the way. I actually did watch this. I haven't watched Lord of the Rings yet. But they're telling us UHD HDR, only 5.1, no Dolby Atmos here. Kind of a bummer. We are getting 4K, we are getting HDR10. Again, no Dolby Vision. However, the bit rates are much lower than Lord of the Rings. 192 kilobit for 5.1 audio. That's standard Amazon fare. It would be so nice if that would be about 384 at least, double it up. 192 is kind of disappointing. But on the video side, 16.99 peak, 14.38 average. So obviously Amazon gave Lord of the Rings some love that they didn't give to some of their other top-end, most prominent exclusive content like The Boys. Lower bit rates, no Atmos. So that said, despite these bit rates, I did watch this show. Overall, I felt that it did look pretty good. Of course, it could have looked and sounded that much better, particularly in the theater, if they would have actually stepped up their game on this one too. So there you go, a check-in on 3 kind of prominent pieces of exclusive content made by Amazon in the Amazon Video app using Apple TV 4K. So there's some interesting takeaways here, I think. One, at least it's a nice trend that Rings of Power presented itself much better. Higher bit rates, Dolby Atmos, getting 4K HDR and all of that. I really hope that's the norm for more Amazon exclusive content going forward. The Boys kind of disappointing. The animation fairly disappointing as well, particularly being only 1080p. I don't know if you'd get any better technicals if you watch the Amazon content actually on a Fire TV. That might be something that I'll look at in the future, looking at some of these services on different devices. So what do you think? Did you watch these shows? What did you think of them? Quality-wise, audio-video-wise, how do you think they looked? How do you think they performed in your system? Sound off in the comments. Let me know if there's any other pieces of Amazon exclusive content that you would like me to technically check here in a follow-up video. Please request that in the comments as well. Otherwise, please do all the regular YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. Leave those comments even if it's just a thanks or a great job. I really do appreciate that. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, there's ways down below as well. Super thanks if my content is helpful to you in your home theater journey. Otherwise, there's Amazon affiliate links, direct donations, YouTube memberships, and more. Thanks so much for watching. Check out the other face-offs and the other streaming technical quality check-in videos, and come on back for more home theater discussion and fun.